Hello everyone. We are going to present on topic perceptions and individual decision making. My name is Rahul. So let's move on to what is perception. Perception Perception is the process by which individual organization and interprets their scenario impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. As shown in the pictures, the first picture shows that there are two persons standing and one is saying it's 4 and the one is saying it's 3. And moving on to the next picture, there are two glasses, one which is half full, one which is half empty. This shows us that every person pre-receives the world and approaches life's problem differently. So moving on to the next, examples of perceptions. I don't like that food. I prefer not to go to that particular place. Elders are always correct. I don't like this subject. Students are always arrogant. This explains us that everything that we sense, what we hear, see, smell, etc. is pre-received. Perceptions also differs based on experience. Experience is largely what teaches us to pre-receive something as positive, something that will be benefit for us, or as negative that might harm us. So moving ahead, why is perception important in workplace? So these are the some following points. Behavior in the workplace is based on people's perceptions of the workplace. There are many factors that influence how something is pre-received. Factors pretending to pre-receive can involve the person's attitude, motives, interest, experience, and expectations. Contextual factors can involve time, works, settings, and social settings. Finally, factors related to actual target can involve motion, sound, size, background, and proximity. This explains us that effective communication skills are of high importance of perceptions in the workplace. If the employee have a favorable perception of their job, the likelihood of organization success is high. Incorrect perception of employee could affect the organization.
I am Kirti Kumar Patel and I am continuing with the topic Perception Effect in the Workplace. The human mind cannot effectively deal with chaos. The mind is programmed and designed to create categories, not the object. Seeing a category rather than an object is called perception effect. Example, when faculty member asks to write questions and we note it down, but suddenly he or she says that this specific question is important for exam point of view, then we categorize that question from all questions by pointing mark on it. By this, our perception is changed towards that question. That is perception effect. Perception effect based on hierarchy. Example 1. Workers are divided based on hierarchy. Manager get paid the most. Salesman second, maintenance third. When a new salesman is introduced to a doorkeeper, a hierarchy immediately is created where sales is worth more than maintenance labor. The doorkeeper is seen differently in that role than he would be if he were met at random on the street. Second, perception effect based on division of labor. Example 1. Blue collar workers. If blue collar workers are seen by management as being undereducated and limited in skills, then blue collar workers in the workplace will be treated as people who need close supervision and discipline. Example 2. Administrative clerks. While administrative clerks may be treated by the same management as specially trained professionals. Example 3. Perception effect based on education and class. Example 1. MBA from IIMA might be seen as better than a MBA from other local college. In both college, MBA is end result, but the status that is applied to the IIM is different than applied to the local college. In the workplace, employees might respond differently to the MBA graduate from IIMA than to a local graduate regardless of other silent features. Silent features like polite and kind behavior with employees, treating employees equally.
I am Sneha Goody and I am now continuing with the topic of attribution. Attribution theory is a theory about how people explain things. This is also an important part of perception. Attribution refers to the way people try to understand the behavior of the others or interpret the events around them, for example, shown in the diagrams. Attribution theory seeks to explain how and why people make these casual attributions. Type of attribution. There are three main categories. Category 1, internal and external attribution. Category 2, stable and unstable attribution. Category 3, controllable and uncontrollable attribution. Internal and external attribution. Internal attribution, people infer that an event or a person's behavior is due to the personal factors such as traits, abilities, or feelings. For example, in the image, a boy thinks that it is a big dog and the other person thinks that it is just a puppy. External attribution, people infer that a person's behavior is due to the situational factors. Category 2, stable and unstable attribution. Stable attribution, people infer that an event or the behavior is due to the stable or unchanging factors. Unstable attribution, people infer that an event is due to the unstable or the temporary factors. Controllable and uncontrollable attribution. Controllable attribution, if something is controllable, we can alter it if we wish to do so. Uncontrollable attribution, if something is uncontrollable, it is out of our sphere of influence. For example, we cannot control the individual's behavior in an organization.
I am Krupa Bagewadi, continuing with the topic perception versus reality. In that, first one is job satisfaction. An employee's job satisfaction is measured in terms of increment in salary. It is very important that employee should satisfy with his job. Every employee has a perception that his salary need to increase in every 6 months or 9 months instead of a year. If he gets these benefits and satisfied with his job, then it is considered that employee's perception is meeting the reality. Next one is duties and expectations. The manager and supervisor should take time to survey the employees about their perception about the work. The duty of the manager to make employees feel valuable and then responses should be considerable. The employees must be guided with the work and proper work should be assigned to them, which will make employees to change their perception into reality and they can work efficiently and effectively. Next one is how perception is made on the communication. In that, first one is formal communication. Formal communication means exchange of official information that flows among different levels of hierarchy. There are mainly 4 types of communication. First one is downward communication, second one is upward communication, third one is horizontal communication, fourth one is diagonal communication. Next is perception based on formal communication. In the image, we can see that flow of information is happening based on hierarchy. Here we can say that if the organization has a formal chain of communication, then our perception is that organization's strict and formal chain of communication is followed there, and employees are not allowed to make interpersonal communication. Next one is informal communication. Informal communication is unofficial in nature, and it is based on social relationships that are formed in a workplace. For example, we can see in the image the communication is happening between the employees on the dining table. Too much of informal communication creates perception that incomplete information is released from such communication network, so there is each and every chance of it to be misunderstood and misinterpreted. Next one is perception based on interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is a process by which people exchange information, feelings and meanings through verbal and non-verbal messages. It is face-to-face communication. Perception of employees. Normally, our perception about the interpersonal communication is that face-to-face communication eliminates the confusion and misunderstandings between the employees.
I am Deepa Kulkarni. I am continuing with the topic attribution theory, list of attributes used on employee performance review. This allows the employee to meet all the tasks expected of him and helps reduce arbitrations that arises from workers who disagree with your perceptions of their contracted duties. These are the list of attributes to review the employee performance. First one, meet deadlines. When an employee misses deadlines, it can affect the production of related staff members or departments. It's not always possible to meet deadlines, so a good employee will let her superiors or co-workers know in advance. Next one, work well with others. An employee who gossips, creates cliques, other employees decreases your workers' morale. This type of behavior and how to address it should be part of employees review. Next one, attendance. It is important that you set parameters for dealing with tardiness, leaving early, taking long lunches, or taking vacations or personal days on short notice. An employee who comes in late or leaves early can negatively affect the attendance of other workers who see that workers getting a perceived benefits they aren't. Next concept is how to establish open communication at work. When you solicit feedback from workers, you can learn about issues and resolve problems before things escalate. First point is share some communicating ground rules with your employees. Explain that people can't use offensive language in workplace. Make sure your employees understand that open communication doesn't mean verbalizing every thought that comes in your head. Explain key concepts to your team. Give your employees a list of the acronyms that you commonly use and explain what the letters actually mean. Schedule team meetings. Involve your entire team in weekly meetings. Make sure that your scheduled meetings should be in appropriate times because your employees may think you are not interested in communicating if you constantly reschedule or cancel meetings. These are the some points to establish open communication at work. Thank you.